Hey, something. It says one of these processes. Hey, guys. Altavice Felder here, your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. This is your Saturday morning motivation. I'm excited to be able to come and talk to you guys really briefly before I start our leadership development training over in the World Voice League Accountability membership for this morning. Listen, making the impossible possible. One of the things that we really need to think about is that a lot of times the things that we thought were impossible were not. Just let that breathe for a minute. A lot of the things that we thought were impossible, good morning, are actually not impossible. They are possible, but we have to be able to sit down and actually put some fuel to the fire when it comes to some of the ideas, some of the conversations we want to have, some of the things that we want to create, right? And when it comes to that, making the impossible possible, it starts with you. One of the things we'll be talking about this morning in our leadership development training is systems. And a lot of you have some great ideas. You have some great things that you want to do in the world, but you don't have the systems to make them relevant. You don't have the systems to not only start them, but to stay the course. It's okay to be able to do something one time. It's great to be able to do it twice. But can you consistently say that you've been a leader? Can you consistently say that you have been an author? Can you consistently say that you are a business owner? Can you consistently say that you've done it and continue to do it? That consistency is everything. And so I've found that in entrepreneurship, a lot of times we falter in that area, in that arena, for one reason or another. And you're not the only one. But making the impossible possible is really sitting down and saying, what is my idea? Is it clear? Who is it going to serve? And how am I going to execute it? That's where the systems comes in. What's my idea? Clear idea. Who is it going to serve? And how am I going to execute on it? And this is the thing. Even though that sounds very simple, I can tell you for sure that people miss out on it about good 90% of the time. This year, I've been able to make the impossible possible. I've created things in my life. I've done things, and people always ask me, how do I see you showing up in so many places? How do I see you doing so many things? Like, you're an introvert, but you're always live and you're always doing, like, how? I've created systems, and those systems continue to allow me to show up at my greatest capacity. Because this is the thing. I can't be everywhere. You can't be everywhere. You can't. There's no such thing as me showing up everywhere. But being very strategic about where you show up is important. Great morning. Hey, Wendell. I see you in Lorville. Good morning. You have to be very strategic about where you're showing up. And so, as a leader in your industry, here's one of the other things that's secret sauce, is are you learning consistently? As a leader, I'm always going to learn. I'm always going to grow. I'm always going to find out things from other people, because guess what? People have stuff to share. I can learn from their experience. I can learn from their failures as well. Please stop thinking that you can't learn from somebody else's failures and that you have to make that tumble all by yourself. You do not. You don't. Making the impossible is possible. Listen, it's happening on a regular basis. You don't believe me? How many of you are breathing air right now? Go on and raise your hand. Raise your hand. How many of you are breathing air? Good morning. I hope it's all of you, because we would have a problem if it wasn't. But guess what? Now, you may not buy air, but there are people that buy air. That was impossible. That was impossible at one time, guys, to buy air. We're breathing it every day. But people buy air. Why? Because somebody sat down. They thought, what was the idea I have? Who is it going to serve? Who is it going to serve? And then what is the system for me to put it in place? So they didn't just cup it and give you air. They put it in a can. And they sold it for you to be able to clean out your electronics. They didn't just put it in a bottle and give you the bottle. No. They branded it. They made sure that they branded it to a certain demographic. People who had electronics that know that little crumbs and stuff get in your stuff. And guess what? People buy it. Air. The same thing we breathe every day. There are people that buy air in polluted areas. Fresh air. People are just buying it. Jars of fresh air. Sometimes the ideas that we have, we take for granted. Because we think that just because the people around us don't need it, that nobody needs it. That's where the accountability comes in. That's where having somebody that can coach you comes in, and it's very valuable. What's the idea? Who does it serve? And what are my systems to put it in place? So very valuable. And it's going to take you very far. So think about that this morning as you're, lounging around on your Saturday, or you may be out and showing up in a positive way this week. However, which way you show up, make sure that you realize that you are in the greatest position to make the impossible possible because you're alive. You're breathing. And unless you're a zombie, which with everything we've had go on in the last kind of year and a half or so, heck, do what works for you. But you're alive. And so that means you have the capabilities of making the impossible possible. That is your Saturday morning message. I appreciate you guys. Listen, for those of you catching it for the first time, welcome. Make sure that you come and connect at Altavis Unmuted on social media, on Instagram or on Clubhouse. I would love to chat with you. But this is all about taking it to the next level, guys. World Voice League. I love the voices that are being shown. And listen, you hear them loud. Wendell has been showing up consistently in the community with some amazing videos. Aaron has been showing up. Michael has been showing up. Ladies, where y'all at? Because the men is taking over, ain't they? But they have been giving us some great messages consistently here in the community. Listen, they understand their worth. They understand their power. Listen, I sure will. I'll give you the 3 steps one more time. So what is my idea? Is it clear? Who is my idea going to serve? And then what are the systems that I'm going to use to implement this idea? As leaders, we can take it and we can go ahead and we can execute at a high level. But we have to first realize that we're leaders and own it. What's the idea? Who does it serve? And what are my systems? With that being said, you have a great Saturday. And until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.